Welcome into Midnight Movie Talk on this Tuesday night. I come bearing exciting news. I have seen the best film of 2022. It is Top Gun Maverick. Without question, the best film of 2022 has arrived, at least for a few of us. You've got to wait a couple more weeks. And I can't really go too far into detail because it's one of these social media reaction only evenings. But I will go into what I said on social media and we'll see if we can't skirt the review embargo that is not until Thursday. But let's talk about Top Gun Maverick. I'm going to share a screen with you and I'll show you what I had to say when I walked out of the film. Saw it this afternoon in Dolby. I tell you, there's no other choice. It's not IMAX. It is Dolby every single time, especially if you have AMC Dolby. If you have one near you, that is where you want to see the majority of your films, including this, even though parts were in IMAX or at least, shot with IMAX. You really get everything you need in Dolby Cinema. I cannot really tell you and stress to you enough how important it is that you see a movie in Dolby. That is my number one recommendation always. Let's scroll down and have a look here at the reaction, the instant reaction as I walked out of Top Gun Maverick. Let me scroll down to when that happened at about 3 o'clock this afternoon here in Los Angeles. 6 hours ago or so, I got out of the film, and I go right here to it, and I believe this is the heart of the film. And really, if you want a long-form review, you don't need much more than this because we don't do spoilers, and this doesn't do any. This is what it's all about. The single greatest thing about the stratospherically spectacular Top Gun Maverick, the sheer love and utter reverence it has for its predecessor. Credit Joseph Kosinski for delivering the single best film of 2022. What an absolute grand slam Paramount has on its hands. Straight fire. Also, I want to mention a few things. Let's keep going because this is all social reaction. I can do this. I'm not breaking any embargoes by doing what I'm doing here tonight with you on Midnight Movie Talk. This one I really think is key. I have my pointer here. Bookmark this tweet. Top Gun Maverick will land an A+ cinema score. I guarantee that is going to happen. Now, why? Why will this film land an A+ cinema score? Let's talk about cinema score for the 990th time here on Midnight Movie Talk. When you look at a film, you're trying to ascertain if it will work with the mainstream movie watcher, right? The average person who comes in to see a movie, not hardcore cinephiles like a lot of you, like myself, but just the regular person that is hanging out in Indianapolis, in Pittsburgh, in Dayton, all these Midwest cities. I grew up in Columbus, Ohio. You guys know that by now. Will it work with them? How well will it work with them? The average moviegoer. This film delivers everything that you want out of a Top Gun film, a sequel, right? So many years on. 1986, right? And then we're talking about, I haven't even done the math. What is that? 30 some odd years, whatever the math is. It's a long time. And this film was in hold because it was supposed to come out back before COVID or right around then. And then we went ahead and just pushed it because Paramount knew they had a huge hit on their hands. They knew this film delivers everything that you want out of a movie-going experience. Okay, it is a top flight, top shelf action film. And I think that really speaks to so many things about this film. Again, I can't get into the hardcore details because it's the review embargo. I'm just going to say that the way it's written and structured, very smart. Okay. And again, the reverence it has for the original is really something to behold because that's a tough thing to do, is to be able to create a film so many years on and feel like it is a natural extension. And it does that. And I think, again, it goes back to Kosinski, who has worked with Cruise before, Oblivion. And, Cruise has this habit of working with people that he trusts and he obviously gets along with. And you see that with so many stars. You just saw that with Ryan Reynolds when he decided who was going to direct Deadpool 3. You want to work with people that you know, that you respect, that will do the things and has the skill set that you need to get that vision on film. So when you look at what Kaczynski brings to the table here, I think cinematography is really strong in this film, and it mirrors what we saw out of Scott from the first one, right? So when we watch that film, I love the way he used to shoot films. You go back and look at Beverly Hills Cop 2. Just look at the way those action films are shot. Really, it just feels like a film, big screen film. That's how this looks. That's how it sounds. That's how everything about this film. And even as we go to the next topic tonight, which is as we talk about this being the best film of 2022, no hyperbole. This is it. Batman would be number 2 for me now. Top Gun Maverick is number 1. And we talk about, is Top Gun Maverick an awards film? You guys know I run Awards Ace. It is an Oscar site where we talk about the films that have a shot at award success when we get to that part of the year, which is 5 months away or so. When we get to October, really September, but really October, November, December, those last 3 months of the year, that's when you're going to get all the best stuff. But isn't it interesting? We're going to get a film here, Memorial Day weekend, that is very easily a film that could be in the awards conversation. Now, when you, again, watch a film, you're looking through, when I try to ascertain what works, what doesn't, will this film be a success in all these different arenas, right? Box office, awards. Sometimes you don't expect much. You expect a good film, but you don't expect it to hit awards level. When we talk awards level, you're talking about a film that is, again, as I said moments ago, the best film of 2022. So when you are talking about an awards film, then obviously that fits the bill. If it's already the best film of the year, I know we're only 5 months in, but this has everything. First of all, Lady Gaga's song is absolutely going to be nominated for an Oscar. Okay. That is in. Who knows if it could win. It's strong and it's used very well in the film. So that's one nomination right there. Lady Gaga gets in for Hold My Hand. And then go ahead and look at sound. It's going to get a sound. That's 2. Okay. It's 2 already for Maverick. Then you look at cinematography. I think it has a real shot there. It's early. I think Batman is in the mix for that. And I think Top Gun Maverick. I think cinematography would be the one that we start to say, okay, that's another. But no question, Gaga and sound in 1, 2. And then we can go from there. And I think we really need to talk about Tom Cruise, possibly as a best actor candidate. Why can't we? Because there are moments in this film, without giving away spoilers, I'm not going to do that, that he has to deliver emotionally numerous times. And he does. Obviously, the stuff in the fighter jets, you know what you're getting. But when the emotional moments come, and there's one in particular I'm really thinking of, that is perfection. And these are the moments when I was watching him in the scene that I'm thinking of, which you'll see. I was thinking, this is the Oscar reel, right? This is Tom Cruise nominated for Top Gun Maverick. And then here's the reel. You see it. And that is something that I would watch out for. Tom Cruise, best actor. Throw it out there. It's early. Why not? The more the merrier is the way I see it. Why would you already have people saying, no, there's no way that's going to happen? Because we know that things can happen, okay? And you can make them happen. You just have to open up your mind to the possibilities that you could have a film like Top Gun Maverick in the Academy Award conversation. Okay, as I look behind me over my shoulder, I see a whole bunch of films that were nominated for Oscars. Some that should have been, some that were, and some that frankly shouldn't have been. And you know what I'm talking about. Wonder Woman 84. There it is. The funniest FYC screener, the most riotous FYC screener ever produced is over my shoulder now, sitting next to Joker, a film that did deserve to be in the conversation, not WW84. I have a feeling we're going to see a Top Gun Maverick FYC screener behind me coming this fall, because this film is absolutely at that level. And I'm open to comments. We'll talk about that. Again, remember, I am constricted by the social media reaction only thing, but I can do that and we can talk about awards, because when you talk about awards, it's not talking about a review. We're talking about the possibilities and again, ascertaining the quality of the film. Can it get to that level? Let's also talk about some other things tonight other than Top Gun Maverick, because I know you guys can't see it for 2 weeks. Let's talk about Doctor Strange. It passed 200 domestic today, just over the line you're looking at 480 something. I want to say 85. Hold on a second. Let me pull up the tab here, and we'll get the exact number on Doctor Strange right now worldwide. It is approaching 500 million already. So when we look at this film right now, we are at 479. And today we got Monday's number. Look at it here, 13 million, down 65%. Now here's what I want to mention is when you look at that number, so you look at Sunday at 38 million, which is Mother's Day, and then you go down to 13. It's a Monday. Obviously, it's not a holiday. You're going to get that drop. So 65%. I'm just looking at that number, 65%. Then I'm going to go in and look at The Batman. Let's see what it dropped on its first Monday. Let me pull that tab up for you. As I look at The Batman, we were at 65% for Doctor Strange. Now we're going to go to The Batman and see where it was on Monday, its first Monday, as it loads for me. And we go down and we look at it was minus 68. So it did better percentage-wise. And obviously money-wise, right? That's almost, let's call it 10, 9, 11 million for that. And then 13 in change for Doctor Strange. And then Eternals was down its first Monday, let's see here, 73%. So Doctor Strange is hanging in there. That's the takeaway here. Doctor Strange is hanging in. It's doing better than both the films I mentioned. The last two No Way Home, but we know No Way Home was its own thing. It's a phenomenon. But when you look at The Batman and you look at Eternals, it's holding up a little bit better. I'm still worried about the second weekend for Doctor Strange because we have a situation where we have a B+ cinema score. We just talked about me saying that Top Gun Maverick's going to have an A+ cinema score. That is good news. B+ cinema score, not good news. Don't make me say it again. You know, if I have to say that a B+ cinema score is not good and someone says, but a B+ is good, you know I don't want to do that again. Please do not make me do that. Also, before we get to comments tonight, let's get to Avatar 2 trailer. It has hit 150 million views. I was perusing the Hollywood Reporter, THR. Let me pull that tab up for you. And I will show you that, listen, it's already at almost 150 million. That's a great number. And it speaks to the excitement level for this film. As you guys know, the trailer debuted in theaters first. It was attached to Doctor Strange 2. And now you have it finally online, and it's up to 148, just called 150 million views, plus other views that I'm sure it's grown. This article was posted at 541. It's probably well up over 150, obviously, right now. And then you talk about all the people who saw it in the theaters this weekend. So that is really good news for Disney. Going to be the big hit of the Christmas season. We know that. And that's why I think DC wanted to get out of there, at least get some space for Shazam, because they didn't want to mess around with Avatar. Avatar is going to kick ass, going to have the 3D screens, going to have all that going on. And even though it's been forever since the original, they're building very nicely to this. And I think the trailer it didn't really blow me away, right? It's more the same, only underwater, but it's still Avatar 2. It's Cameron. It's going to be huge. Let's get to comments here on this Tuesday night. Again, we can talk about Top Gun Maverick. We can talk about Doctor Strange over 200. Whatever you want to do, we can do here for the next little bit. I appreciate you guys watching here, Midnight Movie Talk with me, Eric Weber. Let's get to the comments. And I popped them up, and let's see what we have in the bag tonight. Hello, comments. Come to me, comments. Come to me, comments. Here we go. Okay, let's go to the first one. Ready? It was great. JT, hey, good to see you, man. I have not seen JT in a while on the thing here, so it's great to see you. And thank you for watching. I didn't love it nearly as much as you and a lot of people did. But that said, I understand again how some people did. I think it's a mid MCU film. I just do. But JT, I'm glad you like the film. That's good to hear. All right, let's go all the way back. I actually pulled that one from the beginning. Let's go back to Top Gun Maverick. JT, again, he's going to go see an early screening of it on May 24th in IMAX. Can't wait. You're going to listen. You're going to be blown away. I know there's the early screening. It's worth going to see a couple nights early. This film, again, strongest film of the year so far. And I think it really has a shot for awards, especially when you look at it in contention for a PGA award. PGA Awards, Producers Guild Awards, whenever you get a Producers Guild Award, you pretty much get a Best Picture nomination. So I think that should happen. Even though I know we're way out, just mark it. And don't forget Cruise for Best Actor. I don't have a problem throwing that out there right now. Is Dolby Atmos part of Dolby 2? Yes, it is. It's part, they have a brand new Dolby. When you go to Dolby Cinema, they have a brand new ad in front of it, spouting all the wonderful things that Dolby brings to you as far as that experience in that theater. So Atmos is part of it. It depends. I know Atmos, I want to say, was part of not Cinemark, but like Starlight. When I lived down in Orange County, Starlight had an Atmos theater, and it was solid, but it wasn't as good as Dolby, AMC Dolby. AMC Dolby is the one to go. If you can find one of those near you, they usually have a recliner, so that's a win right there. And then you obviously have the Dolby Cinema, and you've got the projector that goes super dark with the black. And they show you that at the beginning. They go, here's what normal black look like. Here's what it looks like with Dolby. Nick, yes, good evening to you. Let's Turn and Burn. You're going to love it. You're just going to love this film. There's no way. How am I going to come out here and say A+ cinema score and not think you're going to love the film? There's no way I would ever say a film's going to get an A+ cinema score and think that anybody who's watching this stream is going to dislike Top Gun Maverick. There's no way. Not an A+. You might not love it as much as me, but there's no way you're not going to love this film because it's such a grounded action film. And I'll tell you, the thing is, we watch so many films that are CG, just overload. And this film, yeah, I'm sure it has effects. It's a film. Every film has effects. Roma had effects. A film you didn't even probably know had effects. Half that film is effects. So Top Gun Maverick has them. But the point is it looks grounded. It doesn't look computerized. It's not watching Avatar. Okay, it's not watching, obviously, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Jay, good evening to you. So much to break down with this one. First and foremost, is this the best summer blockbuster in years? Right? I think we got to think about that. I got to think about a couple summers back. Okay, let's just say this. It's the best film that I've seen, the most rewarding film that I've seen this early in the year in a long time, because it's only May. I mean, it's early May. You guys will see it here in 2 weeks. But for this film to be here right now, and it's going to be a huge hit. I mean, we're talking when it's box office, right? Box office on this film. It's opening Memorial Day weekend. So you get that fourth day. You get, obviously, Friday. A lot of people take off, Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday. So you've got 4 days. 100 million easy over 4. But I think with this word of mouth, higher. I don't see why it can't even push past that. Maybe we get to Batman numbers. I mean, Batman was what, 135? I believe that was the number on Batman. So you're getting close to that. If we get to 110, 115, it's going to build. And I think that I know some of you are not Gen Xers like myself. I know you didn't grow up with Top Gun. I get it. But the point of it is you don't even really have to see Top Gun to they really work this film in the way they meld Top Gun and Top Gun Maverick and incorporate the two is really smart. And it gets back to, again, Kaczynski, who directed the hell out of this and deserves a lot of credit for what he did, along with McQuarrie and everyone who wrote this film. It's a group effort. Obviously, Tom Cruise too. All these people worked so well together to get this to where it is. So I think that it is one of the best summer blockbusters that I can recall, recently, without a question. For me, it's going to be a top 10 film of the year, Nick. Yeah, for sure. No question. I mean, I don't think it'll be number one, but it will right now be number one. We still have a ton of films to go. But for me, right now, number one, number two is Batman. And I've got to think here about three. I know there's something I'm forgetting that I really like this year, a smaller film. It might be Duel, Riley Stearns' film. Although I don't know. I don't have that. I would put Top Gun Maverick at a 9.5/10. Okay, that because of what it does, what it is, what it delivers. That's a really high score. Batman, I had a 9.5. But a little bit, I'd say 9.5 under, and I'd say this is 9.5 over, if that makes sense. That's how close they are, but I would say the 9.5 over obviously is higher, so therefore I'm going to take Top Gun Maverick as my number one film of the year right now. And this is a great question too, Rob. Is it a 4-quad film? I was thinking about this on the drive home. Yes, and here's why. Because there's a ton of parents like myself out there who have kids, and they, obviously, parents, you have kids, and they're going to take their kids to see this film. And they're going to say, hey, I saw the original Top Gun. Now you're going to go see it. Plus you have the younger actors who are all fantastic. I mean, really, everyone in this film is top to bottom. Miles is great. I think why do I always forget Hangman's name? Hangman. God, Glenn Powell. Thank you. Just came to me. Glenn Powell is a star. It's finally time that someone recognizes this, and this film is going to make Glenn Powell a huge star. He was in a movie called Everybody Wants Some. If you've not seen that, Richard Linklater, it is a baseball film back set in the 80s. Really cool film for Paramount. And I think that's when Paramount saw Glenn Powell back like 7 years ago now and said, that kid's a star. Because he's a star in that film, and you see him in this as Hangman. Glenn Powell's a badass. Love the guy. 4-quad film. Parents are going to take their kids. That's why it's a 4-quad film. And also, it's kid-friendly. There's nothing in this film that you can't take a kid. It's much more kid-friendly than Doctor Strange. Although, remember how I feel about Doctor Strange. It's PG-13. It's not R. We talked about that the other night. So I still think that's quasi-family. This is full-on family. It can be a really strong 4-quad film. I think that we're very close, Rob. I would call it a 3 3/4 quad film. That's really strong. I think Paramount would take that all day, right? Let's go back to Jay. Going to slightly disagree with you. Dolby versus IMAX for Top Gun. It's a huge visual film with all the fighter jets. Looks amazing on the big screen. Feels like on board with Mav. Okay. I don't know where you are, Jay. I'm just telling you that the AMC Dolby here at Burbank, down the street, and over in Century City, where I saw it today, is massive. The screen is not normal size. It is maybe not IMAX, but it is just about, I would say it's like 85% the size of IMAX, maybe 90. But then you have a better sound system. I'm telling you here, my experience at Burbank 16, which is usually the number one AMC in the entire country for movie-going weekend. You got to remember, years ago, now it's been years, is we had ArcLight, right? ArcLight Hollywood was right here in the middle of Hollywood, and it's where everyone went to see movies. But ArcLight closed during COVID. Never reopened. So everyone comes over to AMC Burbank now. It's the best theater in LA. And I'm telling you, of those two screens, IMAX and Dolby Cinema, Dolby's better. And today, interesting. So today, I knew some people that were going to the screening, and they gave you an option. Paramount said, do you want to see it in IMAX or in Dolby? And I was texting one of my friends who was there, and he was in the IMAX. He goes, it's dead in here. And I go, okay, well, I'm going to Dolby. I walk into Dolby. It was packed. Because they know. And these are people that go to movies all the time. They know that Dolby greater than IMAX. It depends on where you are. I'm just telling you here, always go for Dolby Cinema AMC. Wherever you are, it might be different. I can't answer that, but I'm just telling you that it's definitely, for me, it's not even a contest. Between all the buzz, word of mouth, overwhelmingly positive reacts, Cruise, and a banger song from Lady Gaga, which I agree. I listened to it like 4 times before the stream tonight. I'm totally love it. You know when you watch a film and you want to get like right back into the film? You know what's weird? So when I came out of Doctor Strange 2 a week ago, I struggled to put together anything to say about it because I felt very indifferent to it. What's happening tonight? You can tell the difference, right? You can't hide your love for a film. It just comes through you when you watch Top Gun Maverick. And I wanted to go back and listen to the Lady Gaga song like 17 times in a row. That means that emotionally, this film is there. And a part of me was certainly within the screen with the film. Doctor Strange, I felt disconnected, right? You guys know what I'm talking about. You go to a movie and you're just watching this film. I'm in the film. I'm living it with the characters. That's why it's the best film of 2022, because it is that fantastic and emotional. God, it's good. We can't say every film is the best in that year. Yeah, that's true, JT. I know. We can't say that, but it's early. But I'm telling you, it'll be in my top 10. TGM is going to be in my top 10 of the year. I don't know where, but there's no way it's outside of the top 10. Aaliyah, good evening to you. My understanding is that Paramount wanted day and date initially, yet Tom threatened a lawsuit. Now listen to this. Thank you for reminding me to bring this up. 120 days in theaters. We are talking about 4 months theatrical exclusive. That is going to help this film too. I have stated repeatedly, I know a lot of you love to watch your movies at home, but listen, come on, man. The movie-going experience, seeing a movie on the big screen, you cannot compete with that at home. I don't care what setup you have. It's not the same as what I experienced today in Dolby or those who went to IMAX. It's just not. So Now you've got a situation where you have people that have no choice that want to see Top Gun Maverick with all this word of mouth, with everyone talking about it, and we still have 2 weeks to go. And I'm telling you to run out and see this film. The earliest you can see it, it's that strong, is that it's going to drive more business. And then people are going to go, I have to wait 120 days. I'm not going to wait. I'm going to go see it in theaters. That's why I think studios are stupid to tell everybody, like the Batman, hey, in 45 days, the Batman's going to be on HBO Max. Don't tell them that. Just do it. Just make people go to the movie theater. And I know some of you say it's irresponsible because that's fine. Let people make their own decisions. If they want to go to a movie, let them go. Don't, put your mask on, do what you need to do. But I think we're all done with people telling us how to live our lives. I know I am, okay? Do what you need to do. I'll do what I need to do within the parameters of not being reckless, okay? We can agree on that. But I'm tired of people saying you can't do this or you do that. But just stay in your goddamn lane. It's not that hard. Just stay in your lane. Okay, rant over. 120 days in theaters is good for Paramount. It's a smart move. I love it because you know how I feel about theatrical. I live to go to the movies. I don't live to watch screeners at home. They sent me a screener of a film, the new Neon film, which is it's about the porn industry. So pleasure? Okay, pleasure. They sent me the screener. I don't even want to watch it. I mean, I probably will, but I want to see. I'll probably wait until it's available to me to see on a big screen because it's just not really worth my time. I just don't like films watching at home. I'd rather see in the theater. Sound, visual effects, cinematography, production design, best picture, not production design. Remember, production design, Nick, I like sound, I like visual effects, I like cinematography, I like best picture, I even like best director, but that's a very low, but I think he deserves a lot of credit for that. Screenplay, it's adapted. Don't forget, it's an adapted screenplay because it's a sequel. Anytime there's a sequel, the screenplay is adapted every single time. Production design is world building. This film, even though you had to build the world of the Top Gun school and it's not world building on a level like Dune or from last year Nightmare Alley, where you had to you literally create the carnival. I mean, that's production design. That's why it was in the mix everywhere for production design, because it's world building, tangible world building, right? Not Avatar. It could be production design, but it's all CG. So that's not the same. For me, production design is physical world building. I don't think that's one of the things here for Top Gun. I would put adapted screenplay before, which is crazy, right? That's bigger. It's bigger than production design. But I think absolutely sound, gaga, visual effects, cinematography, those four I really like. I really like it. It's absolutely a 4-quad film. Legitimately should resonate with anyone. Jay, I love it. I agree with you 100%. It should. I worry about younger kids. They're like, I don't want to see Tom Cruise. He's an old dude, It's like, well, whatever. He still brings it every time, and he's a movie star, and he's one of his best performances in this film. What he has to do, I don't want to say what the scene was, but there's an extremely emotional scene that he has to deliver, and he does in spades. So, yes, it is a 4-quad film to me, no question about it. But I just say because of the fact that I worry about the younger kids, I'm going to give it 3 3/4 quad. Okay, 3 3/4 quad. Say that a lot. Top Gun Maverick, number 1 at the box office that weekend, even though it's going up against the Bob Burgers, whatever is it? Bob the Burger guy. God almighty, Bob's Burgers, I think, right? That is a film that only appeals to people who watch that show. I mean, I'm going to go see the screening. They just sent the invitation. Disney did. It's Disney, 20th Century / Fox. And they said, hey, come see Bob's Burgers. There's 2 reasons I'm going to see that film. I have no idea anything about Bob's Burgers. The number 1 thing is because I can talk about the film. I want to be able to see it and talk about it. But the number 2 thing is it's down the street at AMC. It's at Burbank. I don't have to drive across town. If Bob's Burgers was like in Santa Monica, which just trust me, guys, get out a map. I'm in Burbank. You have to drive all the way across. It took me 50 minutes to get home from Century City today, from Century City back here. And I was just like, I don't want to do this very often. The movie has to be good. And Bob's Burgers, I'm like, nah. So back to Top Gun Maverick. Number 1 at the box office, without question. Bob's Burgers is a small film that's only going to appeal to the core audience. It is not one of those films that's going to bleed. Even like you go back and look at Jackass. It's not even Jackass. I mean, Bob Burgers opens at what, 6 million? maybe 7. I don't know. I mean, if people are bored and it's Memorial Day, movie going is up, right? We know that. Movie going is back. We're back to 2019 levels. So maybe it does outperform. We're going to find out. But I mean, it's not going to outperform at like 40 million or something. That's insane. Okay, let's go to Aaliyah again. Per Matt Baloney, good reporter. It's polling low with women under 25. That's exactly what I'm saying. Younger, especially women. Good call. As filmed wants to see, so a 3-quad film, Lady Gaga song plus excellent reviews may turn that around. That's why Paramount put that Lady Gaga song in. It's perfect for the film. Okay, let's make sure that's stated. But it's also strategic because you want to have Lady Gaga attached to Top Gun, so it is obviously going to bring in that younger audience. Think of all the Gaga fans that went to go see House of Gucci. That film did okay. It really did. And the reason it did is because it had Lady Gaga in it. That's why, okay, I'm not going to say it's why the only reason she's in it, but it's a big reason. When you're producing a film, you want to have as many eyes as possible in your film. Also, one other story I want to share with you. When you're producing a film, and I've talked to many producers who told me this story, tell me this exact same story. So let's say you want to make a movie and you say, well, here's who I have in the movie. I have Ryan Reynolds. Okay, you got Ryan Reynolds. You've got 30 million for your movie. It's more than that. Let's just say 30 million for Ryan Reynolds. And we also have Lady Gaga. I'll give you another 10 million. Conversely, if you get, and those numbers could be wrong. I'm just saying, conversely, they go, okay, we have Jason Priestley and we have Shannon Doherty. It's a reunion of Beverly Hills 90210. They're going to be like, we'll give you 200,000, maybe not even that much. So the bigger the stars, the more stars you have in your film, the more money you get. Therefore, House of Gucci got a bigger production budget because Lady Gaga's in it. Back to this, that's why Lady Gaga's song's in this. It brings in an audience to the film. I mean, I listened to the song like 7 times before I started the stream tonight. It's a great song. It's perfect in the film, and it's doing exactly what Paramount wanted it to do. Bring younger fans in to see Top Gun Maverick. Really simple. Nick, back to you. A Cruise acting nomination for TGM would be very fitting considering how hard he's known to work on his films. Hardest working man in films. He is, again, go back to Mission Impossible when he strapped himself on the back of the jet of the cargo plane. Like, that's legit. That is a legit stunt. He broke his ankle in the same film, right? I believe it's the same Mission Impossible. He does his stunts. He is all in. Tom Cruise, you can say whatever you want about Tom Cruise. The one thing he is all in his films. So this would be a wonderful way to acknowledge his body of work by getting him in here. The thing is again, before I get too excited, and by the way, I will show it to you if you haven't. This is a debut here tonight on the Midnight Movie Talk. I've got to show you what I did. Speaking of Tom Cruise and Best Actor, as I bring up, let me pop it. Here's what I just did to Awards Ace. So Awards Ace is my website. You guys know I've told you before. It is everything you need for awards is there at awardsace.com. I scroll down. By the way, Hollywood's Oscars HQ. Thank you very much. That's my slogan. Don't steal it. Down here, there it is. We come down. We have Best Actress. We have Florence Pugh. Don't Worry, Darling. In the middle, we have Amsterdam, which is, of course, the big David O. Russell film for Best Picture. And look who's over there in the Best Actor contenders. That would be Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise is right there. I'm going to pop it open. You just hit a box. It's so easy. It's so intuitive this way. Who designed Awards Ace? They're really talented. Go down here and we look through the different contenders and we see Tom Cruise, Top Gun Maverick. And by the way, he has a diamond. Let's go down and find out what diamond stands for. I'm giving you guys like a tutorial on Awards Ace. It is recommended in category by Awards Ace Editor-in-Chief Eric Weber. Who's that guy? He seems like he knows what he's talking about. So there we go. Tom Cruise is officially in contention for the Oscars. Thank you, Awards Ace. You do a bang-up job. Keep doing what you're doing. More comments. JT saw Doctor Strange twice already. It was great. I had you earlier saying that. But yes, I know a lot of you love the film. I've seen it almost 2 times. I walked out at the very end because I don't love the end of that film, but I do like the Illuminati scene. That's amazing. It's a good scene. It's the best part. Tom Cruise always delivers. Yes, cell phone. I agree with you. Jay, back to you. Can we also get a shout out to Glenn Powell? I just did. Okay, maybe you just joined me, Jay. Maybe I'm late on the comments. I'm probably super late on the comments. I super apologize for that. Glenn Powell is a superstar. Glenn Powell is a badass. Let me pull up Glenn Powell's IMDb page because I want to know what else he's been doing. I told you he was in Everybody Wants Some, okay? So Everybody Wants Some is a really strong comedy from Richard Linklater, not a hit, Paramount film from like 2014. Let me pull it up. Let's stop the screen, share the screen. Sometimes it's I wish it was easier to share screens and faster. Here we go. Glenn Powell. Let's click on him. So Glenn Powell, I actually sat at Critics' Choice. I sat at a table with Glenn Powell, and who was the other actor? There was another young actor, but Glenn Powell, coolest dude. And I remember just looking at him going, this guy looks like he's like a version of Ryan Gosling. He has that same look at him. He's got that same chiseled look to him, superstar. And I'm like, when is Glenn Powell going to happen? Right? Let me scroll down. Here he is, Glenn Powell. Okay. So I was like, there it is right there. Everybody Wants Some with the exclamation mark. I forgot I had those. 2016. I thought it was 2014. Okay. So this is how, and also he was in Hidden Figures same year. So that's when he started to really pop. But when I go back to Everybody Wants Some, okay, so remember this. Everybody Wants Some is a Paramount film. So Paramount sees him in this film and says, this is a star. This is how Hollywood works. They see Glenn Powell and they say, let's save him, put him on ice. And when we have something big, a role that's really strong, really perfect for this kid, which it is, Top Gun Maverick, is he is there and they just plug him in, right? That's exactly what Paramount did. They plugged him in based on Everybody Wants Some. By the way, and Hidden Figures, but Everybody Wants Some for sure. And see, these are the things you're not going to get from anybody else because see, most people don't even know this movie exists. Everybody Wants Some, let alone know that Glenn Powell is in it, let alone know it's Paramount, let alone know that that's how it all works. It's all in synergy to get Glenn Powell to become a star. Paramount hired him based on that film, and they put him into Top Gun Maverick. Let's look at what else he's done. I want to see some more from. I know he did some Netflix film that had a lot of people that watched it, but it wasn't like a critical darling or anything. Let's see. What the hell was the name of that? Set It Up. It was called Set It Up. He was in this. He was in a Netflix movie called Set It Up. That's exactly what it is, and it was one of those like cheesy Netflix films that I think was set in an office. And I was like, oh my God, is Glenn Powell going to be stuck with this shit for the rest of his life? And no, because he had Top Gun Maverick sitting in the chamber, right? Just waiting to be released. This film should have been out 2 years ago. And now it's here finally. Let's see what I see. He kind of just disappeared, right? So you see Hidden Figures, you see Everybody Wants Some, 2016. And then you kind of see, a podcast series. He does voice for Apollo 10.5, which of course is Linklater, which of course brings him back around to Everybody Wants Some because directors, you work with people they already know. And then you have Top Gun Maverick. So now you've got Most Dangerous Game coming, Devotion. So this is how Hollywood works. You need to get on someone's radar, right? Hell, it's that way on YouTube. Hopefully you guys watch what I'm doing here and say, hey, you got to check out Eric Weber. He's great. Or whatever you say. Check him out. Because that's how it works, right? You spread the news like Glenn Powell when he was in Everybody Wants Someone. You go, this guy's a star. So yes, Jay, I'm 100% with you. He's amazing. He's going to be a big, big, big time star. And this is the one that's going to do it. This is the one. Finally, it's come. The time has come for Glenn Powell. Miles Teller, very solid. I think he's good. I just don't, the performance, the moments, there's emotional moments, but I guess what I'm looking for is it's weird. Like when you watch a lot of awards films, when you see the moment, okay, you see a moment that you go, that's it. That's the one. When I watch Top Gun Maverick, I see a moment for Tom Cruise. There's not a question that you see that Oscar moment. With Miles Teller, I don't know if I ever saw that. Not that it's not his fault. He's very good and he's perfectly cast as Goose Jr. Perfectly cast. So that works. So yeah, Miles Teller, very good. I just, again, for me, I think more about Glenn Powell. There's something about Glenn Powell. He's got to play. Glenn Powell is playing Val Kilmer, right? That's what's happening. He's playing Val Kilmer's Iceman, only he's Hangman. We know that. It's obvious. But you had to have the right guy. And Glenn Powell has the swagger. You have to have a swagger. You guys forget, if you don't know how great Val Kilmer was, first of all, Top Gun, yes. But go back and watch some of the work of Val Kilmer. When I think of like Real Genius is one of my favorite comedies of all time. It is an 80s set in college. Just God, I love that film. I've watched Real Genius probably 20 plus times, maybe 30 plus times. You need to watch Real Genius, but go watch Top Secret. The way that man does comedy. And you know why? Here's the funny thing. Here's something I just thought of. When you look at Ryan Reynolds, okay, we know Ryan Reynolds and what he does, that smart ass routine. I'm willing to bet, I'd love to ask Ryan this question. Ryan Reynolds, how much of a role did Val Kilmer's smart ass performance in Real Genius shape who you became as an actor? Because if you look at Ryan Reynolds, go back and watch Top Secret, go back and watch Real Genius, and watch Val Kilmer in smart ass mode. Okay, even Iceman, and you're gonna see Ryan Reynolds. It's funny how things come around. So I think that you look at what Glenn Powell had to do. He had to step into the shoes essentially of Val Kilmer. That's not easy. So that's why Glenn Powell is coming, and he's going to be big. Glenn Powell's going to be huge. Glenn was on Scream Queens. Okay, yeah. Well, I didn't watch that, but yeah, no, he's done some things. I just think this is finally the thing that's going to get him there over the hump. What do you think the ceiling is in terms of nominations? Again, I'm not saying the only one I know for sure. Okay, I'm telling you right now. There's two. There are two that are coming. Locks. One, Lady Gaga, Hold My Hand. Lock. Two, sound. Lock. Cinematography, we're going to go down. We're going to, visual effects, close. But I think the two locks are Gaga and sound. There's two Oscar nominations right there for this film. And then if it gets momentum, remember, when a film comes out in May, it's hard to continue its progression. It's hard to get people excited about a film that they forgot about. Even though this is a great film, you got to remember, in 5 months, we're going to be talking about something else. How are we talking about something else in like 2 nights when we do this? That's how we work. Here's the challenge for Paramount. They have to be able to get the momentum going again for this film. They know that that's not easy. And you know how they know that's not easy? The film right behind me, Rocket Man. Rocket Man came out in late May, and it was not as big an awards film as it should have been because it came out in late May. So now you have Top Gun Maverick coming out in late May, and they're going to try to do the same thing and pull it into award season. It's very hard to do. But the film is that strong. I know they're going to make an effort. They're hearing all this. I'm not the only person saying this film is absolutely an awards contender because it delivers everything, and the average awards voter is going to love this film. I sent a tweet out about that. Middle-aged awards voter like myself, I'm in Critics' Choice. Boom. If I was in the Oscars, I'm a middle-aged awards voter. Bang. I would absolutely vote for this film. I agree with this too, Nick. I didn't know her name. Monica Barbaro. I don't know what else she's done. She is very strong in this film. I agree 100% with you on that. Glenn Powell and Barbaro are the two best young actor and actress in this film. Even over Miles Teller. I like Miles Teller. I mean, good God, Whiplash. Just stop there. And Fantastic Four. Of course, we know how great that film is. I don't hate that film as much as a lot of you do, by the way. Okay. But yeah, she's very, very good. You see the star in her too. Nico, also glad you loved the movie. I know you were excited. I'm glad to deliver for you. Only problem, you're wearing an Arsenal jersey tonight, like Tottenham on Thursday. Yeah, but here, you know why I picked it tonight? Let me see if I hide this here. So the reason I picked this jersey tonight is because it says that the thing is Fly Emirates, right? So I figured, what's the best soccer kit I have that incorporates some kind of flying? See, I think these things through. This isn't just like grab a kit out of the closet. I thought, let's go fly with Emirates. Although there's a number of Fly Emirates jerseys. I'm trying to think at least 4 different teams, I believe, that are Fly. Emirates like sponsors 50% of the soccer teams around the world, or football teams. Sorry, guys, for those of you who are overseas, we call it soccer here. For me, it's like it's half and half. Should TC do more art house or dramatic work? You go back to Magnolia and you see that. I think that he's just built to be a box office star. He's a star. He doesn't want to do that independent stuff that you see, Bradley Cooper want to dabble in, that you see I think Robert Downey Jr. needs to do. I think that's where he really should be working because he's such a talented actor. Tom Cruise is more of a movie star, although I would suggest you go watch Magnolia because that is really his awards showcase when you watch that, Paul Thomas Anderson. So yeah, I think he's not going to be going to the world of indie film anytime soon. He's just a superstar. He's going to work with Paramount. He's Paramount's golden boy. It's why they gave it a 120-day window. I mean, it's easy because they want to keep him happy. You need a segment of how CinemaScore works. That's a good idea. We'll do that one night. Let's just make it simple though. It's very simple. Every little plus or minus that it goes down on the or up on the CinemaScore here's how I'd say CinemaScore. Let's just do it very simply, very easily right now, Leah. CinemaScore is like the Richter scale, right? If you get a 9 earthquake, it's hella strong. A 9.1, it's incrementally stronger, but it's that much. Every time we go closer to 10, we are talking about a massive, exponentially bigger earthquake. That is CinemaScore. If anyone steals that, I swear to God, I'm coming for you. That is exactly what CinemaScore is. It is Richter scale-ish. Quote, unquote. That's the best quote ever. It's Richter scale-ish. Monica Barbero was on Chicago PD and Justice. Remember this, guys. I don't watch a lot of television. I watch Ozark. I just finished all 4 seasons. I've watched that now for, 4+ years. Love the show. If you don't watch Ozark, I can't speak to a lot of shows. I can just tell you that Ozark is really, truly top-notch drama. I wasn't super in love with the ending of Ozark because it's the last episode. I watched it, in fact, last night. But it's a great show. If you haven't watched Ozark, invest the time. It's worth it. Carlos, good evening to you. Hi, Eric. How you doing? Should invite some of Film Twitter as guests. I'm thinking I can do that. I just talked to Scott Menzel. I was on the phone with him on the way back from Top Gun. Great friend. I'll invite him on some night and we'll shoot the shit for sure. And then, Jeff Ewing, another guy I was just texting. We were just going back and forth on DMs on follow him. Jeff's a really smart film guy. You guys know Scott, president HCA. Jeff writes for Forbes. A lot of the film people out here, good friends and good people, and it makes the community that much more special, certainly. Nick, again, what a time for nostalgia this summer. You got Maverick, you got Jurassic World, you've got Natalie Portman, Christian Bale, and Thor 4. Thor 4 is going to be huge. I think it's the hit of the summer. There's no question, even over Jurassic World. I just want to share one very, very quick thing, and if anyone uses this, I'm going to say that I deny it, even though this is recorded. I'm hearing about Jurassic World. That's it. That's all I said. That's it. Don't anyone quote me on that. You didn't hear it here. That's all I got to say. Aaliyah, back to you. I don't like seeing IMAX at my AMC because the seats do not recline. Yes, exactly. They do. Do they recline at the one here? No, not at Burbank. The seats are rigid. Yes. And you prime, and no Dolby, that stinks. I don't know where you are, Leah, but that's, the Dolby, you want to get recliners if you can, especially for the same amount of money. It just makes no sense not to. I'm stealing the Richter scale CinemaScore. Don't you dare. It's exactly what the CinemaScore is, right? So the difference from a B+ to an A- is massive. It's exponentially bigger or worse, or, better if it's an A- and worse if it's a B+. It's that much of a difference. It is not a simple plus or minus or a letter grade. It's that much bigger. Chris Gore is here saying I'm great at pre-screening selfies. You took a picture of me. I didn't even know. I felt like the paparazzi took a shot of me today. Go look at Chris's Twitter feed. I think I am pretty talented at that. At pre-screening selfies. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. Can't wait to see Lightyear. I'm not as excited for Lightyear as some of you, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Some of you, again, it's like, it's weird. I just said I'm huge into awards films. I really love watching quality films, and I'm not saying Lightyear's not going to be, but for whatever reason, the trailer hasn't done it for me. Maybe I'll be pleasantly surprised when I see the film. I just am not as excited for Lightyear, but I know a lot of you are, and super cool. Cell phone, let's see what you have here about CinemaScore. It works like this. Big 4-quadrant films like Marvel should not get less than A-. Yes, agreed. 100%. You're on track. Horror movies Can get less than A minus, yes, because even C's, they always rate lower with people, dramas, no less than B. Let me give you one other secret. We're going to do a whole episode on this, but let's just do it. Horror is always going to score low for one very key reason. Well, not all horror, but if it scores low, there's a reason why it scored low. You guys want to guess what that is? It's because it has a down ending. Anything that has a down ending is going to get dinged on the cinema score. If at the end of the film everyone dies, D cinema score. F, C minus or lower, right? So if you can tell if it had if everyone dies in a film, if it's a D cinema score. Just that's another quote. If you see a D cinema score, just say everyone dies in this film. You're getting gold here tonight. It is the gold platinum edition of Midnight Movie Talk here. Thanks for joining again. A few more comments. I missed the first part of that just for fun. Hold on. No. Oh, there we go. Sorry. Yeah, you're still in the Richter scale. No, you're not. It's not happening. If you do, I trademarked it. I literally went in and used LegalZoom, and I trademarked that whole thing. Why is Dolby at AMC Burbank your favorite auditorium? My local Dolby is very underwhelming, soft sound. Oh, yeah. Burbank's is the showcase. Dolby Cinema in Burbank is the showcase cinema of Los Angeles. Gore, if you're still listening, Chris Gore will back me up in the comments. The screen is massive. The sound is perfect because you've got to remember too, Dolby Labs, okay, the headquarter for Dolby, where they mix a ton of films. I can get on my bike or walk down to Dolby Labs from where I am right now. I've seen movies there. They have a screening room. The screen's not very big, but the sound in that room. Dolby is here in LA. When you're here in the same city with the theater, you've got the actual Dolby people. I'm not saying they don't set these up everywhere, but think about this. You don't think they want to make the Dolby in Burbank down the street from the headquarters the best screen around? Yes, and that's why it is. One of the other reasons is because Dolby headquarters is walking distance from my place, Dolby Labs. If you ever get a chance, you can't go. Most people can't go in there. It's very much of an industry thing. You have to be invited to go to Dolby Labs. I love that theater. It's really cool because it has a mixing board in the middle of it because that's where they mix the sound for a ton of films. So you sit behind the mixing board when you go to watch a screen there. So it's really cool. But yes, it is the best screen. There's not a question about this. AMC Dolby Burbank is the number one screen in LA. There's not a question. That is not up for debate. I don't even want to have this debate with any of you, any LA people. The rest of you can't have the debate because you haven't been out here. Let's go to Nico. Dolby's my preference for the past few years. Most AMC IMAX screens near me are very dim. Doctor Strange and IMAX could barely see when they were in the tunnel. Yeah, it's dark. It's a dark film. Did you watch it in 3D? 3D always is going to muddy the film, right? It's going to darken the film. So unless it is shot like, I imagine that Avatar was so bright anyhow. But I think that if you shoot it in 3D, not in post, right? You add it in post, you tack it on. If you shoot it, then I think you get some of the color, you get some of the pop. But if you did see it in 3D, then that's exactly what happened. It's 100%. Hey, Nick, you know what's funny? I thought about this today on the way down to see Top Gun Maverick. Sound bigger than screen. You know what's weird? I had this exact thought today. Is sound more important than the screen? I almost feel like the answer is yes. Nick, thank you for backing me up on that. This is funny. Nishiraj, I just saw your old photos on Instagram. You're like a totally different person. I don't know if that's good or bad. I hope that's a good thing. I mean, listen, you guys know I go to the gym. I try to stay in shape. So I don't think I was ever like heavy, but maybe I was. I don't know. Well, here's the other thing you got to remember is when I added the goatee a few years ago, I didn't want to look like Robert Downey Jr. So those of you who say, oh, it's Iron Man, that's not what I'm trying to do. I wanted to look like Johnny Depp, and it hasn't worked. It just never did. And no one ever said you look like Johnny Depp. So it's been a complete failure. But now it's just like something I have. I can't ever get rid of it now. I like it. I just like the goatee. JT again. I tried Dolby in New York City. It was great. Oh, I bet it is. I'll bet you the one at AMC, whatever it is, Lincoln Center. I'll bet you it's amazing. I really bet it is. Carlos again. Now that we're at it, most theaters around here, Midwest. Play movies way too soft. I can't watch my TV. Yeah, it's unfortunate. They really know because California, they know we have movie people. We have industry people. Today, at my screening, were a number of people that are industry people. Not just critics. Okay, a lot of major critics are here. But obviously you have industry people that work at the studios that are stars they're going to these movies here in LA at Century City, especially because that's right near Beverly Hills. So they want to make sure it's perfect because those people are in the business. They're in show business. You're not going to give them a crap screen there. That's not going to play like it is in Dayton, like it is in Wichita. It's not going to play in LA. Certainly Century City, Burbank, Hollywood. You got all these people here that are major cinephiles. So you got to get it right. So no, the sound is always dialed in, but also remember this. I go to a ton of critic screenings, press screenings, media screenings, and they're going to make sure that's perfect. One of the funniest press screening things that ever happened, and you probably read about this, is Dark Phoenix, which was not a great film. We can agree. But during the middle of the Dark Phoenix screen, actually, it wasn't even the middle, it was the end. It was the conclusion. It was all wrapping up. The guard, you look it up. I know it's out there. The guard literally pushed up against the emergency exit door, and they could not get the emergency exit door to turn off. So the siren was going on in the middle of the conclusion, the climax of Dark Phoenix. And they literally couldn't get, and they played the whole rest of the movie with the alarm going on. By point, that was bad. Like people got fired over that. That was when it was still Fox, right? I think someone literally got axed because of that, because it was literally like it was their only chance to get people to watch the film, and it literally had a fire alarm. So you can't have that in Hollywood. No way. AMC Empire 25. Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, that's what I imagine it is. All right, guys, it's almost an hour here. We're going to wrap, and I will see you back here on Thursday for Midnight Movie Talk. As always, really appreciate you guys. And anytime, like, subscribe, hit me on Twitter and comments here. Again, thank you very much. I will see you on Thursday night. We'll talk box office. I'll see Firestarter. I heard it's horrendous. By the way, Universal is not sending screeners or anyone. No one's allowed to see Firestarter until Thursday night. That tells you this is not a good film. We'll discuss it on Thursday night. For the rest of your Tuesday, enjoy it. I'll see you Thursday. Good evening to you.